Yes, 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 yes. What is going on, man? What is going on? Let's quiet down the choir. Had some technical difficulties coming in to church today. As I usually do, as I grow older, technology gets more difficult. Let's see. Had some good news in the money flow land today. I'll hear about members meeting each other, becoming friends. Give me just a second, I'm trying to load something here. And yeah, there we are. That and okay, doing a sound check. Making deals, meeting up, helping each other. A lot of life, man, is a network game, man. A lot of life is a network game. You know, not all of it. I mean, you got to get up and do the do, but there's people, you know. The money that we want is in other people's pockets. And sometimes I say it like that, and it's like a reminder to them. You're in sales. If you sell something good, be good at it, you know, make some money. You're obviously trying to help people. If you provide a service, if you're an Uber driver, man, just get me there. I'm going to throw you a little tip. All the money that the Uber rider wants is in other people's pockets, right? And the money flow it's really about that, man. It's seeing the flow of money that is all around you. And a lot of, especially when you look backwards, man, a lot of things seem to be obvious, you know. You're looking at them, you're like, wow. One of the things the stock market does, you know, people can talk bad about the stock market, say this or that. We're looking at the S&P 500 here. And people can say what they want to say, but at the end of the day, there's not many mechanisms that are mathematically proven that, you know, when you add an amount in time that have worked for 100 years to produce money, to appreciate, to grow wealth. Like, there's not a lot of things in this world that have consistently done that, you know. You may have there's things that worked in the 70s and things that worked in the 80s and things were different in the 90s and you know, and you can just look back and you can look in time and different things work, man. But you're here. You're where you're at. And so what the money flow allows us to do is just watch some shit and it's like, man, I'm not an expert in oil, but I made money in oil this year. You know, I don't have to be an expert in everything. The markets, this is the opinions of millions of people coming together every day, man. And when all of those people agree on something, market will do something. And those people tend to do things for too long, like it's erratic, man. It runs up, runs down, sideways, moves around. And this day-to-day chaotic activity of all these people getting up to buy and sell this thing of value, this thing for 100, 200 years, people have got up to play around in these things, man, stocks. And when they do that every day, much like the blockchain, they leave a piece of evidence. So if we're looking at this chart right here, what do you see, man? A lot of red, right? Well, on this chart, black means the day went up. The close of the day was higher than the open and the previous high, the previous day. And the reds are days where it was lower. And if you look, you see a lot of blacks, a lot of reds, a lot of blacks, a lot of reds. It's chaos. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And this right here is like an entire week, man. And there's some people, you know, you might put a lot of thought on that. You got a lot of intellectual thought riding on these are daily bars. You know, what does that mean? If we come over and if we put a piece of paper over the other and we look at it, I used to do this, I would print these charts off, and I would encourage you to do that. Print them off. And I began, and I'd see this pattern emerge of the way price moved. It would move up, and then it would move sideways, and then it's moved down. And a lot of times it would do it perfect. Like it would just whoop, 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 whoop. Now, it doing it perfect and you trading it in a very short period of time to extract money from it, those are two different things, right? Meaning you can know the future and fuck it up. Meaning I know if like stocks are going to go higher, guys. They're going to go higher. You can go back and look at history and see that. But making money, it's different. Maybe your stock doesn't go up, right? There's that possibility. Or maybe you just don't actually believe. A lot of people don't believe in stock market. They don't believe. I believe stocks go up 71% of the time. Not necessarily when you got in, but just over time in general. Let's turn off commenting on Instagram. Maybe they don't talk as much. And listen. 9 thoughts on getting rich. Getting rich is simple. It's just not easy. This stuff is simple. And you'll see these little patterns. Watch. See if we can just spot them. See if you can see little money flow patterns. Just barely. I mean, some of them aren't clear. Right? Now, the gray area we run into, what was this? That was the stage 1, man. It started, right? Then what came down? So even though the pattern gets out of whack here, the crazy thing is it's still doing the pattern, right? It's still doing that, man. And then it runs up. And then over. And then down. And then over. And even on the way down, price is now moving down. The S&P 500 is in a down stage now. Remember we said we broke out above, and you're not going to see many days like this. And this is why, this is what they call whipsaws. Like if you're trying to just trade moving averages, like maybe you were buying just breakouts and the breakout happens and it's like, bam, I'm in. Well, if that's the case, guess what? You're out. You're stopped out, man. So if you're trading that, if you were to trade a breakout, like prices right there was what? Breaking above that green line. That's that. That's a breakout. And when stocks break out, they tend, where are we at here? They tend to run. We call that inside the money flow stage 2 breakout. And if you see this, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 1. And that's how price is moving. But it's not linear like this, meaning it's an impulse or a flow. It's going sideways and then up and then sideways and then down and then sideways. And if I can watch this, let's say that I just believe in the stock market. I think like over time, most good stocks are going to go up and some stocks are going to go way fucking up. And if I can allocate my money, my time, my resources to this idea, then I can say, okay, it really doesn't matter when you get on the train, meaning at some point you're going to get on the train. So what if you just got in the stock market here? Well, what are you seeing? Market went, right? It's breaking out. Woo! And there we go. We run up. Look where it stops, right where it stops before. Look where it stopped on the way down. So far, where it was before. We'll see if that holds. And we see it do that inside of this pattern of moving sideways, running up, moving sideways, running down. Now, when you hear me say price has memory or price tends to stop where it was before, you'll see this on charts as you begin to study this through they call this shit technical analysis, like you're staring at a chart. Some people use algorithms to help them. Some people use mathematical formulas. Some people get really involved in how much volume was it. If there wasn't a lot of volume, I don't want to do it. And they come up with different ways of ideas and thoughts and concepts to interpret The chaos of data that comes out every fucking day. It just comes. So on Monday, when you don't feel like getting up, Nike will get up and trade. And when you're like, oh, I can't look at it, my girlfriend won't let me today, Nike's going to trade. That stock's going to go up and down with or without you. And that's the beautiful thing about the stock market. It doesn't really care if you believe in it. It goes up and down. It's been doing this since the beginning. And there are people who will decide to reject it. They're like, listen, my brain's too small. I actually don't want to get rich and I don't want to accumulate wealth. So I'm just not going to buy stocks, Gerald. I don't want to get rich. Because they could, with mathematical certainty, given enough time times amount times yield. This thing here, if we back it up, averages 9% a year. It has since you were born. So it's not even up for discussion. You don't even get an opinion on that. Like nobody here gets an opinion on that because that's the fucking truth. So look, this is 2022. This whole way, the world's been a shit show. I don't know if you guys think it was simple 5 years ago. No, there was interest rate concerns, fucking worried about fighting Muslims. There's always something. Always something that's in there. Fuck, Trump was elected. We're done. Wait, no, it was Obama. That was awful. Wait, no, it was Bush. And then remember when we went to war remember that? Meaning there's always problems. And so guess what? Markets move up, markets move down. And inside of all of that, there's fucking geniuses that think they know what's going to happen. Now, none of them do. And when you don't get it right, you just keep talking the next day. And that's what they do. So look, this is a weekly chart. So look at this. This is awful. Look at all these weeks down. Right? What happens if we believe it comes? Look out tomorrow. There's a brighter day, I swear. If it goes forward and we believe that, man, over time, shit just goes up. Man, that's worked out pretty well for most things. Here's the thing. Not all things. Not all things. And some things, let's back this up. That's a monthly. So maybe that's like 15 years. Let's go back to the daily. And in the midst of all of that, what I just showed you of up, up, you see price moving. And what I'm trying to determine is if I can spot the pattern. You see how that flowed sideways? Now, we're using this green line, this simple 20-day moving average. See, composite average of 20 days, man. And for the slow kids, there's only 20 days in a trading month. 1 month, 30 fucking days, Monday through Friday. 5, 5, 5, 5. 20. 20. The money flows fractal in all aspects. You could buy 1 share, I buy 100. Next guy buys 10,000. And they say, I don't know if the stock market could help me. Really? If you'd have bought 10,000 shares of Exxon, it might have helped you. So here's Exxon. So if I'm watching this and I want to buy 10,000 shares, oh man, imagine if you did that. Imagine if you had the balls to do that. Oh God, Gerald, it might go down. Why would I want to invest and bet on me? People do that, man. People come to Money Flow Church to want to get rich and then get scared. Courage. Courage. Getting rich is simple. It's just not easy. Pick a blueprint. As I watch price, now how you react to this could be different. Could be different. How you react. So as a general rule, I want to sell when prices are too high and I want to buy when they're too low. We're taking on the generalities here. One, you got to believe in the stock market. If you don't, none of this will work. You can't believe in it just because you said, I think I like it. Like you got to go confirm that in your own brain. Your subconscious doesn't fucking believe you. Right? You ever say you're going to do something, your spouse like, yeah. The reason they're saying that is they know you're probably not. They're around you enough to know. But we can deceive ourselves. So you need to settle it, man. I believe in the stock market. Then believe in it. Bitcoin gets real easy when you're a believer. You have to be a believer. Conviction. Have to be, man. That's the secret sauce, man. If you don't have that, none of this rest of this works, the mechanics of this. And if you're to be a believer, faith, how does that work? Well, in the Christian faith comes by hearing. In other words, reading to yourself, seeing it, watching, observing, being in the flow, seeing it over, looking at history, taking it in, reading, like you're convicting yourself. That's what that is. You should be obsessed. A lot of people that fear the market, they don't have any faith in the market, is why. This pattern, if we watch, now the pattern, it's not perfect, man. It's not perfect. And at times can dissolve. And you say, what do you mean dissolve? Meaning it stops functioning. It's not that it's not moving, it's just, it's not moving big enough in this time frame to see the pattern. You say, what do you mean? This is a daily chart. I could drop down to an hourly. Somewhere it's money flowing, a 5 minute, 15 minute, 10 minute. And you say, what do you mean money flowing? Meaning it's price sells off and then it stops. And it stops. And almost every time it stops, it looks the same. The stops that are worth the most money, the stops that produce the best profits, go into an extreme down and then stop. And they put in a day that is the lowest day, or a candle or a bar where it's the lowest bar and you can fucking tell. And it's called an anchor. And it's an apex point between stage 4 and 1. And this is the bottom. And as you do this more and more, and you'll see it and you'll say, this is the fucking bottom. And there it is. Bam, right there. And then it turns. But yet you don't really know. It could keep going. I don't know. But this is what they look like. All of them. Right? And I had a guy say, well, yeah, but then it went down. Yeah, it was then a stage 4. I don't know. I'm just telling you what is. This what is. And this is what breakouts look like. All of them. The ones that work and the ones that don't work. And guess what? I don't know the ones that are going to work and don't work. I can't read the fucking future. But as a basic concept, if I go looking for things that are undervalued and play them on this move, whether undervalued by value or by expectation, could be expectation. Stocks can go up that aren't making money. Like right now, the market doesn't like stocks that aren't making money. They're not big on growth stocks right now. Those are like the least liked asset class on fucking planet Earth right now is growth stocks. So if you sell out of them, you're selling at the absolute bottom. Genius. Is it? I don't know. It'd be a genius move if it was, right? And what I found is price moves in this pattern, and the trigger to let me know there's a pattern switch or a direction, a stage switch from a 1 to a 2 to a 3 to a 4. These movements. One of the signals is where is price in relation to this green line? Where is it at? So I could own shares of AT&T and this thing's paying me a lot of money. And I say, man, I want to get $100,000, $10,000 of this. But when do I want to do it? If I want $10,000 of this and I say, what's your time frame? I don't know, man. Maybe you can do it in one check. Maybe you do it there. Boom. Now what? You just hold it. Right? If that's the game on this, when would I want to buy more? Up here or down here? Meaning I'm always wanting to buy after a big pullback and it starts to go sideways. As a general rule, whether I'm a previous owner or a new owner. So get this. You could have got on the game over here and now you got all this experience. You've watched it go through a money flow. You're like, wow, that thing went stage 1. It broke out. It ran up. It went into a 3. I didn't do shit. I'm just watching it. I'm trying to accumulate. I'm not trying to sell. I got, and as this thing comes down, what I'm waiting for is the next stage 1. So why? I can start accumulating. Why? I'm going to sell, but not this one. Why not sell on this one? Because it's still undervalued, man. Meaning I want to try to get this as big as I can. That's one way. That's one approach to this. That's one approach to this, right? That's probably the approach that would most of you, it would work better for than doing in here, out here, target there, in there. Now, if you can do that and you're going to stay on that and you're focused, then that's fine, okay? That's fine. But if you believe, and this is the hard part for me, is I'm a fucking believer and other people are still trying to figure it out. You ain't got to convince me of shit, bro. I'm already convinced. I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't convinced. So once you get past that hurdle, you get superpowers. You know that, right? Like once you get past the fear and confusion part, you get superpowers. I pretty much assume it's going to stop here because it stopped there before, and that's the pattern, right? Now what? Well, depends on what our goal is. Right? Do we think this thing is undervalued? Is there any way we could possibly know? And yes, and most of you know this. We could go to Tip Ranks. We could go to what? We could go to Morningstar. We could go to Zacks. We could go to The Street. We could go to Yahoo. We could go to Ameritrade. Go to E-Trade. It's just not secret, and their numbers are public. Figuring out the value of a stock is like fucking third grader research. Literally, you could be mentally disabled, and you could figure out the value of a stock. So everyone that doesn't know what their stock is worth, it's because maybe you're mentally disabled. I don't know, because all you got to do is type it in. And then, well, I don't understand financials. Oh, I know. It's hard. Watch how hard this is. This is how hard it is to find the value. And people will resist this. They'll say, Gerald, but I have some special cash balance book reading. Good. Do it. And a guy tell me yesterday, I'd love to sit with you. Study. All right. Type it in. Did you see how I did my index finger? I slid it down the mouse. See how cool that was? So as we study finance, I go, 22%. All right. Man, that's by this dude who knows more than you. All he does is watch this stock. Now, you think maybe he's lying. Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's at this desk where Morningstar's headquartered. You can Google him. And he's sitting there and he's like, listen, I know I went to college for finance, got a master's degree from Wharton, I'm going to just sit here and do nothing. Just make up reports. Probably not. This is his actual honest opinion of this stock, okay? We can pretty much bet on that. But don't trust this guy. What is his name? We don't want to trust just Michael. Let's go see if anybody else agrees with Michael. Put in T. Michael might be full of shit. And I go look over here and I go, whoa, there's 11 other guys. All right, let's see what they say. There's Cannon, Philip, John, Jeff. And there are adults in America. I don't know the value of a stock. I know, because your index finger doesn't work. That's the literal barrier. So 9 thoughts on getting rich. Getting rich is simple. It's just not easy. Simple. We just valued a stock. I just saved you a lot of time right there. And you say, yeah, but I want to read well, you can do that. You can go read the investors. You can go read all these books on reading cash books and balance sheets and studying profits. And you can do all that. Or you could just follow the fucking money flow. Try to be in tune with stocks and see what the world puts in front of you. And just open your eyes while you're driving down the street and going to stores and talking to people. And look. And I've made shit tons of money watching. So look at Walmart. One time I'm in Walmart. This is how I got in this stock. And I'm in Walmart. Man, does Walmart do the money flow at all? Have you figured out what the money flow is? Are we still struggling with that part, or are we good there? Hopefully we're good there. Down, right? Up. I hope we're good on that part. We got to buy into this part. There's a little one. Look how fast this one was. Rare, but happens. Down. Sideways. What do we need for sideways? Listen, we need 4 days. Doesn't take long to make a stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Technically, stage 2 could be like 3-4 days. Fucking turns around and goes the other way. Those are rare. Super, super small, tight money flows are rare. What's normal, look how that stage 1 was 2 weeks long. Stage 3 didn't even go that high. Look, stage 1, 4 days, broke out above the 20, went up for 4 days, went sideways for 2 weeks, back down. That is the pattern, man. That is the money flow that God just gave you. And I had to fucking struggle, go through shit tons of courses and books just to get this. This was like a 10-year struggle. And now I just show it to people. Show it to people. And hope they get it, man. Most will just waste a lot of time. And because right here, market goes up 71% of the time, meaning most of the time the market's drifting higher. Now, what they think that means is it's higher than the price they paid. That's not what it means. Because the 29% that it goes down, it can really come down. But it goes up and it comes down. And when I started trading stocks, there were 9,000 something stocks. Today, there's like 4,000 something. And more people. And guess what they've done? They've gone higher. And then people have babies. And there's more people. And then they go higher. And there's less stocks due to mergers and technologies. And so as the number of stocks shrink, there's more people with money. The reason housing prices go up is more people have money. And they want to buy the limited supply of houses. As soon as there's more houses than buyers, they come down. It's not complicated. Same in the stock market, man. Most of the time, it's drifting higher by moments of sheer terror and fear. So once we believe, then we know after this, all these big, we need to be looking here. That's our setup, right? So the money that was made in Walmart was made on the downside, right? You ever hear that? You make your money in real estate when you buy. Yeah, no shit, in stocks too, man. In stocks too. And your loss. Same in real estate. It's not different. What charts do for you is allow you to supercharge yourself. You get to zip past all kinds of shit. There was a time when people would get the price from the stock and they would hand write this shit on a chart, and they would take a ruler and they'd put a dot at 144 stock opened according to wire. A wire. Oh, look, there's Pepsi. And they hand draw it on there. That's what people used to do. I got people like, well, man, I can't look at 20 stocks every day, Gerald. Okay. Maybe you need a filter. Maybe you can't look at 100. I know, it'd be like 8 minutes of flipping through charts. It's impossible. That's where a lot of our competition is. Something like that slows them down. Like, I can't flip through charts. I've got 24 hours a day that I got to do something else. That's most people, man. That's one reason it makes this game possible. That's all it takes to keep them out, man. This was already written for them. They don't have to draw it in. You used to have to draw it in. And then if you wanted indicators, these were mathematical calculations on a fucking calculator where you would then take a pencil and draw this in. And today it's just handed in there. And most people, when this was invented, they were just using this, guys. He would look at the chart and then hand draw this out. This was before computers. And they would hand write it. I got people, I need to run a filter, man, because I don't have time to get out of here, man. Fuck out of here with that. You need to be in charts, close to charts, touching charts, looking at charts, and feeling it, feeling the money flow, man. It's not a random group of fucking tickers you've never heard of constantly coming at you. You could, if you're trading purely technical on a lower time frame, then yeah, you would ignore everything I just said. I'm talking about other people. If you're trying to get, $30, $40, $50,000 positions over time in these stocks, or does that scare you? Are you scared now? Some people come to church, they get scared. He said $30,000. Oh my God, Martha, we don't have $30,000. No shit, it takes time. And so as you come at this for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, attacking it, man. Attacking it. Look at Walmart. Does Walmart ever give you stage ones? Look at these, man. Look at these. You just keep going back, right? And what are you seeing? This pattern of movement where it does like this. Right? Now, as it does this pattern at these previous points, we'll call them boxes. You're going to see these boxes. And what is a box? 4 days, of price congestion, right? Price holds it. We get a spot. Price holds it. And then it goes sideways, right? You should see it, man. You should see it. This is what you see when you look at a chart. Is there a fucking anchor point? Is it sideways? Where is it at in relation to the 20-day moving average? Are the 5-day and 10-day coming together, or are they spread apart? Because if they're spread apart, this level doesn't mean shit. It needs to be coming together, okay? Big difference there. Meaning if price is just flipping, flying near the bottom, like go look at Netflix. There's no come together. Straight down, right? So there's no stage, man. If you're following the money flow, a number of people ask me about Netflix, like, send me my book back. It's obviously been wasted on you. You need sideways movement, man. Now, most of you go, well, yeah, of course. I know. That means you got it. Congratulations. I'm not mad at you. That means you got it. You read it. You're understanding it. And so you're seeing the pattern of price movement. So if we look at this is Walmart. Look how sexy this is. What is this? Where's the highest high? Where's the anchor point? Right here. We got the highest high and the lowest low. And they say you can't know highs and lows. Right there. They're right there, man. What are you talking about? Can't know. Yeah, no shit. You're not going to know the one or the because it's never ending. You go, what do you mean? Meaning it's going to come down and go up. No shit. It's always going to do that. At every bottom is like, you think that's the last bottom? I don't know. But it's the bottom right now. And so as I look at this is what I'm watching. Right? This is what I'm watching. Maybe it goes down. All right. We'll go down. And then what? Wait for the stop. And we can find it. We'll find the anchor point. Because every day you're watching it. So as this has gone up, I bet we would have called it right there too. Look at this. Look how sideways this is. It doesn't look like it because it kept going, but look at this. Now, here's what I mean. Look at the 5-day, the 10-day. See, now I'm taking you on the inside of the money flow in my stock charts course. And this is what this is about and that. Look at this. Look at this. 5-day, 10-day. We could sit here for a month. Look at how spread apart this is. You know what that tells you? It is not going down. It can't go down mathematically until this crosses this. You understand that, right? Meaning mathematically, every day it prints numbers which get divided into all of these indicators. And this has a math formula. And we get a new input, calculate, and this moves. And they used to hand draw it. And I got people, I don't have enough time to look at a chart. So as we come down, remember, they would hand draw the moving average. Man, you want to talk about wanting it, man. You want to talk about manifesting something. Science of Getting Rich says those thoughts that you hold in formless substance and don't let go, if you hold them, will manifest. I can't think of a better way to hold it and manifest it than to physically write it, which is why I tell people a life worth living is a life recording. You can't get what you can't see or write down. Kid this week, he was saying, well, I feel like my financial dreams are unrealistic. No shit. You're starting in the beginning. Yeah, it's a big number down the road, man. Yeah, everybody feels that. No shit. What most people do is let that stop them so they don't go forward, and then they just waste the most valuable component of the whole formula, time times amount times yield. So if you've been playing this game that I teach every day for the last 5 years in Bitcoin, you'd have a shit ton of money. So would I. So I know this works. I've watched it work. I've watched it work on Exxon, make tons of money. I know this works. What doesn't work is I, for some reason, can't hold the asset, that I break weak, that I can't function inside of this, right? And you say, well, what? I'm trading. And good. Take your window down. Stick to it if you have the ability. But you're not trading when you're working a full-time fucking job, dude. You're not going to be able to sit and watch these. You could have 1 or 2 trades going, maybe. Maybe. If you want to be shitty at your job at work, I guess, you could have 1 or 2 going. You know? Short-term meaning where you got low targets. I mean, I talked to a guy yesterday who works for FedEx, told me he was a day trader. I'm like, what? Yeah, I drive a FedEx truck while I day trade. Oh, Jesus. All right, so watch out for FedEx trucks. He might have been making money. I don't know. That just don't sound safe to me. I feel like you're ripping somebody off, the day trading or your FedEx, one of them. One of them you're stealing. He probably doesn't know what that means, though. Maybe not. Maybe he does. Stage 3. The sun got up for him. And you. And me. But look what happened. It kept going. And now looks back into that box. Another advanced concept that you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just go with it. you'll get it after a few. It's back in the box. See the box? Previous box? It's back in the box. Very common at tops and bottoms. Puts in a bottom, all of a sudden, oh shit, bangs back, comes back into the box. Same thing at the top. This was a box. There's your RSI. Price went sideways. We had our anchor point, got our 4 days, and then what? It went one more time, breaking. And you're just like, fuck. What if I'd have downsized here, Gerald? It's all right. It's all right. If once you take profits, if you're in a trade, just let it be, man. Just let it go. When do we want to get out? Right here. Like you need to be out before that happens. If you're trading, if you're swing trading. Now, if you're trimming, this gets super easy. You're just trimming into this. And you're like, what if it keeps going? It's okay. It was a trim. It's all right. Good. What if it goes down? All right, well, we have less shares. You know, there's nothing to get freaked out about. If we're swing trading, we're going to downsize it into the down move if we're swing trading it. So look at NO or NU. No, NUE, sorry. Look at this. It's at 3. This thing's trading at a premium. So back to our value situation. If we believe this, if we believe that 71% of the time stock market goes up, just sometimes the 29% of the time it goes down and goes down fast. And I don't know when you're getting on the roller coaster, and I really don't think it matters because you're going to have another one. You might as well start with the downtrend now. If you think this is the only downtrend and movement in growth stocks, you're going to have a very sad fucking life coming forward. If you think this will be the only recession you get to experience, I'm sorry, you're going to get a bunch more. You better get ready for that, man. You better get ready for that, bro. You need to be ready for uncertainty. So the only thing that makes this work, if you're investing, let's just talk investing right now, or position, even just position trading too, man, which is what I do most of the time. Me, I'm trading what I perceive to be a true value, but shit happened in the world, and now everything's all fucked up. Well, I'm still swing trade. I'm still position trading it, right? And I believe over time stocks go up. Right? That's what I believe. So what I got to do is create an environment where I can let time play out and maybe use the time to my advantage to pick up my favorite ones cheaper, right? That's it. That's the whole game, man. Right? But at some point, well, let's don't get too far down the rabbit hole. So look at NU. Look at all these anchor points. I would have said these were anchor points. I would have said there's the top. It's rolling over. Right? Nope. Kept going. There it is again. And there it is again. We sold on this one. Now I sold some on this one and this one. There's your stage 1, right? There's your breakout right here. And then we've run. What is the value of this stock? Let's see. NUE. Nucor. Morningstar says NUE is trading where we believe to be fairly valued. Okay. Fair value. I mean, this is the value of the company. All right. Tip rank says it's overvalued. Now, if you were going to flip a house, would you run up and buy a retail value home? You're like, man, I'm gonna buy this house. It's worth $240. I'm gonna flip it for $240 and $1. Probably not. But you might not necessarily sell that house. You say, what do you mean? Like my beach house, I pay $312. It's the one 2 floors above me and over, same size, just sold for $371. What the hell? I paid $312. 6, 7, 8 months later, someone just bought one for $371. Wow. When I paid the $312, I thought it was a little expensive. So the stock's probably overpriced. I don't have to sell it, but let's say my position has grown fairly large. Like it's done well. Well, let's take it down. We'll take it down. Doesn't mean we don't like the company. Doesn't mean It's not staying part of our buy and hold. We're just downsizing it. And because now the dividend yield, if you go look at the dividend yield, it's 1.5%. Meaning when we were buying it, it was 3%. Like these buys down here, I'm getting 3%, 4%, 5%. If I keep taking it back, when I'm playing the money flow game with this thing, take it back when it was undervalued. Look. See back here? It was undervalued, man. And back over in here, it was undervalued. Right? And so if we can find them undervalued, but guess what? In the midst of that, shit that has nothing to do with new car, or it might have something to do with, price is going to print, it's going to print, it's going to print, it's going to print, and print, and then print, right, and run up. This is a weekly, right? It's a weekly. That pattern that we watch, that's how price is going to move. That's what I came to believe. That's how price is going to move inside of there. And so as a guy, let's say I want dividends. Like my friend Chris Johnson always says, buy income. Well, I like that. But when do we want to buy it? Well, if I'm looking at AT&T, do I want to buy today? Probably not. We have that indicator, right? So we have these 7 indicators we use. And if we just put it in the middle of the green, and let's put it in the middle of the green, right? And let's put it in the middle of the red, right? And put it when that almost hit it, right? Almost. Now, what you're going to see, the RSI adjusts with price. Meaning, as price, and this is a concept that can mess with your mind a little bit. Meaning, there was a point where the RSI's or price is higher than here, right? And the RSI is on a low. If you go look. Meaning it's doing what it's tracking, what RSI is tracking is the previous 14 days. So it's tracking this to come up with this reading up here. 14 bars. Same to the downside. It's tracking 14 bars. And what its basic idea is, it's measuring velocity. How fast. So things tend to run up too fast. They tend to sell off too fast. If you go look at Netflix. Let's look at Netflix. Wow. Stock has been obliterated, dude. Wow. $650. This one, it was $700. I don't trade Netflix. Wow. Notice the moving averages here. See how far apart these are? You don't want to touch that. Now, shit, that's a breakout right there. Blasted, dude. What would I do if I was in this? I would wait. Let's see what does NFLX. I always give it 3 days to go see what's up. Netflix is at a 23% discount. Okay. All right. Let's look at, so what does that mean? And we're using the money flow here. All right. 304. Now, you ever hear me say you got to wait 3 days? Why? You can't really get good fundamental analysis of a stock on a fucking tweet, okay? In 10 seconds. Takes days. Adults need to read it and digest what they read, okay? Now, on other things, they may just fucking bang it out immediately. Okay, But I don't think those people have any, intellectual concept of what they're just trading around price movement, which is fine. But I can't do a position trade or a buy and hold like that. So if we're not in Netflix, let's say you weren't in it, it was $700. They think it's worth $300, and Morningstar thinks it's worth $280. Now, because you have an account and watched a couple videos on there, you're more of an expert, I'm sure. A lot of people think that. Oh, fuck that, blah, blah, blah. All right. Did you go to finance school to figure that one out? A lot of people will make decisions around just some ridiculous thoughts. Like, they're not thought out. They're not like, it's like, okay, Earl. So stocks get knocked out for a reason. Like, when you look at these reasons, they're legit. Like, they have fucking problems here. They're losing subscribers. Right? That's legit. That's why it's down. They're not selling cars. Nobody's going in the restaurant. Like, people are cutting the cell phone. Like, legit problems. They're not just going down for nothing, dude. There's legitimate fucking problems. So then you got to ask yourself, is it... What the fuck? Get rid of this guy. What do we need? I had a guy say to me, Dave, we need 4 days, Gerald. Yeah, but what? Where's the lowest low? We haven't even had one low yet. Each day's been lower than the previous low. You see how far apart these moving averages are? It cannot go up without going above the 5, going above the 10, the 10 going above the 20. We are a long ways from Netflix recovering and running up. These stages got to be built. This pattern will play out, man. It's probably going to go sideways and sideways. This will be dead money for a long time as the pressure on growth stocks continue. Now, I could be completely wrong, but I'm just telling you what's just looking at the chart, it tells me. It tells me that, you can't go up unless these come together. Look how far away we are from them. This is not going to just take off and rip the other way. Not going to happen. It could theoretically, but it rarely happens. So we call this a broken family. Look how much space is on here. So you have plenty of time. You haven't even put in a 1 day that's held yet. Down, down, down. So I had this on my story, and if you're on my subscriber list on Instagram, I've been trying to, if something's in the news, commentate on it. And I was saying, do not buy Netflix. If you like Netflix, now's the time to study Netflix. If you weren't in Netflix and always wished you had owned Netflix, now's the time you begin to manifest Netflix. Meaning you go read, you go see what was the fucking problem. Who's the CEO? Oh, I don't know about that. Well, read it. Go look. What is the problem? So if we come over here, and this says, Netflix stocks continued its tumble as share prices fell over 25% in after-hour trading on April 19th after its first quarter 2022 results. Firm posted its first streaming subscriber net loss ever in the quarter, due in part to closing operations in Russia. Well, we understand that, right? Are we holding that against them? Goddamn, there's a war there. But even when accounting for that loss, that's why. Even when accounting for that loss, net adds of 0.5 million came in well short. Now, the story just changed. The story I heard on Twitter immediately was Netflix lost 200,000 subscribers. Is that true? Well, yeah. But there's a war, man. We're trying to stop them from, right? There's sanctions. I don't know if you know this, but anybody that's doing business, I don't know why this would surprise anybody, but that banged the stock a lot, right? So you got to take that into account a little bit. So, right? But now let's keep reading. Ads 5 million came in well short of the low end guidance of 2.5 million. Netflix now expects, to lose 2 million subscribers in the second quarter while still maintaining its 20% margin profit target for full year. Despite competition and recent price increases undoubtedly playing significant roles in next week's results, guidance management primarily blamed on other factors such as shortages of connected televisions and password sharing. Netflix, I could fix that problem. Come on. This seems like such an easy fix. All you guys stealing from Netflix, you're like, yeah, but it's different, Gerald. I know. What if you stole cars and they just stole yours? Like, fuck this guy and his commission. I'm just going to steal it. That's what people do to Netflix. A lot of you do. A lot of you steal from Netflix. They don't see it that way, though. They feel like, why shouldn't I get it free? My sister paid for it. I'll use her account. It shocks me the number of people that are in it, NFTs and all that. You're like, yeah, internet freedom, NFTs, we need a digital ownership. And then like, fuck, sneak around, steal from Netflix. Keep in mind, next time you're at church and you're praying, and you're like, man, I don't think God's answering my prayers. He's like, stealing from Netflix. Look at you. You're asking me for something, and you're over here stealing from Netflix. Just saying. I don't know. I'm trying to help you out. I pay for Netflix. I think you guys should pay too. So that if that would help the stock, I think most of the shareholders would appreciate that everybody paid for the service. I don't think that's. It shocks me that that's in business. Like no other business do people advocate stealing from, other than that business. If we were talking about Walmart, like literally they've been doing flash mobs in Florida at Walmart where people just steal the product off the shelf, run out the door. Most people are like, that's not cool. But it's cool with Netflix. I don't know what it is with the digital thing, but morals go out the window. Gerald, it's just Netflix. Don't hold me morally accountable for stealing service from Netflix. I feel like that's uncool, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sure God still loves you. As price pulls back. Anyway, this was one of the stocks that I was telling people, if you're on my subscriber list on there. The cool thing about it, there's no bots. There's no idiot questions. Just normal people with real questions. So we're going to do a bunch more lives of those, and I'm going to try to help them. And I commentate on news. I don't trade this stock, but I wouldn't buy it here. It's not a box yet. It's not rent. But if it's undervalued, if they could fix the password problem, if they could produce one, all we need is one show, baby. One show like Game of Cards, Game of fucking Thrones. We're back. Now, I don't know. Is that a good place for money? Maybe. Where else could you be putting money? We could just go ARK, right? Should we buy here? What do you think? Does the RSI think we could go lower? Yes. It's not even extreme yet. Can ARK go extreme and then keep going lower? Yes. I mean, so just looking at the RSI, this is not a bottom. But we've come into a point where price has stopped before. So if we're looking at the money flow, number 5 on our 6 points, our 6 bullets, our 6 tools in the tool shed, so to speak, our 6 indicators. Number 5, support and resistance. Supply and demand zone, price as memory, meaning these are zones. When price hits it, it stops. It does it to the upside. It does it to the downside. I don't know why it does it. It just does it. And from these zones, we're able to, and now it doesn't do it 100% of the time. It's not infallible. It just seems to be, price does that. And we saw it up here, and you say, what do you mean here? Look. Where price hits this same zone, and it just can't get through it, you know? And you say, what do you mean? I mean, it had a box over here, man. I'm more thinking from that than probably where you're thinking. So we had a stage 1 in a box. Price broke it, and on the way back up, look, couldn't get above it, came down. Came back up, couldn't get above it. Now, you may have drawn that different. That's how I see that. So that's now overhead resistance. And you say, what do you mean? It means whatever price gets here, it tends to stop. It stopped on the way down, and now it's observing it stopping on the way up. So when we go to move, if we set up a stage 1, what does this create? This is going to create a trading moment. You now have a target right here. So if you're a short-term trader, you're going to start viewing this differently. See, the short-term trader is thinking, all right, I got a swing point. Meaning when I say I got a swing point, I got a point that I can start to make sense of the chaos. I can have a stop loss, right? I got a stop loss. Let's say this stage holds and moves sideways, I have a playable point and I have a target, and it's within a reasonable price move. This is not something crazy. As a position trader, this is not doing much for you. We're trying to get the position bigger and up higher than that, right? As a position trader, we're probably wanting it up into here and shit because we're going for a bigger payout. We're taking more time to build the position. A position trader is playing a longer game. Doesn't mean it's a better game. Doesn't mean it's right for you or wrong for you. I think it's right for you or wrong for you based on your lifestyle. So if you're driving for FedEx, maybe don't be a day trader. Maybe be a swing trader so we can look at it at the end of the day. Or trade positions, giving yourself time so you can be good at your job and good at trading. You can build wealth while making money over here. Maybe you end up doing 2 or 3 things to make money, and this helps you store that money. And you're like, I don't really have much interest in selling shit. I'm just trying to accumulate, Gerald. Good. So then we could just follow these quality dividend stocks. Go look at Gilead was one we were buying. And this is what I try to talk with my friends about. Dude, this is my life all the time. Friends text me, hey man, are you watching Gilead? Of course I'm watching Gilead. I own $25,000 of Gilead. Trying to get it bigger. Love to have 60. Now it ain't gonna happen anytime soon. It's not my highest conviction, but I've owned this stock for like 9 years or some shit. And what are they? They know what I'm looking at. I want it RSI go extreme. I want price to put in a bottom, and I want it to come up and come above the 5. Every time this stock does that, I'm a buyer. Might be one share. Might not have any money. If I don't have any money, I'm still going to look at it and say, fuck, I would have been a buyer. What does that do? Keeps me in the money flow. I might go look at this and say, is there anything in my account that's trading overvalued? Oh, wait, look at Nucor Steel. That bitch is overvalued. And guess what? It's one of my top 10 positions. What does that mean? It means I could harvest some money from there, right? Now I'm taking a stock that's yielding 1.5% on my money. It's appreciated. When I was buying it, it was 4%. Now it's 1% because the price has gone up 200-300%. So I could trim that, and add it to this, which is giving me almost 5% dividend yield. Is this stock undervalued? Well, we could go and look. Is Gilead undervalued? Let's see. I don't know. Just using this as an example. I know it is. Shit, Morningstar gives it a 5-star rating. 23% discount. $81. Nice. Would I buy it here? Nope. Nope. Maybe the Netflix thieves will buy it here. You guys will buy it here. But it's not on sale. It's not a low. It's not below the green line. Doesn't look like this. It didn't come, it's over here, right? Stage 2 breakout. It's drifting now. So I don't buy on the drift. I let it drift. Why? Because I'm looking for other shit that's better value below the 20 on the other side of the drift. I don't want to be drifting up. So in other words, I don't want to be buying up in here and shit, right? I wanted to buy here. Same over here. Irregardless of where the price is, I want to be buying on the right side and selling. If I'm selling into strength, right? So would that have been a good place? Remember, we're talking about Nucor Steel was true value. Well, let's look. $72. What did Morningstar say? They say 81, which is higher than the chart, right? Wow. What's tip rank say? Now, we can go read more, too. They say 71. Where's the money flow say? The money flow, we know price is going to run into trouble where? Where it stopped before. Right around there, there's a box, right? We got through that one. There was a box. You say, what do you mean? Right here, man. There was a box, right? So when price went below it, we know on the way up, it's going to get stuck at that box for a minute. See it? When it runs through, where's it going? It's going to keep drifting, usually to the next box or the next area where price had stopped before, like right over in here. You'll see it. It'll stop, which if it hits there, it's definitely going to be banging that 70 RSI, right? completing the pattern. So as we look at Gilead, it's bouncing, moving around from undervalued, fairly valued, undervalued, fairly valued. It's moving, man. It's moving. It's alive, man. That's the money flow. And while it's doing this, it wants to drift higher, man. But then there's forces, there's environments. Biotechs get hit, so fuck, all of them are going down. Or the S&P 500, the wind right now. So Nike was one we were looking at trading. But guess what? It started drifting, right? Bam, look at that big down day on Friday. Why? The S&P 500 is tumbled, man. We're in a stage 4 decline. So the stock market is bearish. The market is going down. It is below. Look at the 20. It's literally pointing straight down. Look at the 5-day and 10-day. They are numerically aligned. 5-day, 10-day, 20-day, pointing straight down. The market is going down. You say, where do you think it's going to go? At least probably down into here. Why? That's where it stopped before. So I just assume it's going to stop there again, you know. Now we have, I'm nitpicking here, but we have some other minor levels. You say, what do you mean? We're getting in the weeds here, but there's a box there. See it? There's the breakout of the stage 1. And there's a box here. Now, I would call that minor support because the major is the pattern, right? Which is what we're seeing play out here. Stage 1, stage 2 run up, stopped. Where did it stop? Previous high. And then has come down, right? Now we're headed down. I assume it's going to the previous low, which is right here. Could hold here. We'll see. We'll see on Monday. It doesn't matter. So if I want to buy some of the S&P, right, it's too late to be selling it. I mean, in my opinion, you could go short. You should have done it the other day. But when it rejected this 20s, when you should have, if you're trying to play the short side, that's when you would have done that. You say, what do you mean? Well, go look at the SQQQ, or let's see, the SPXU. This is the inverse of the S&P 500, right? And when it, on this day here, went back into the box, that was probably your day to get short. You know, could have played it over here. I don't play this index like I do stocks because 70% of the time this thing is going down, so that's not a big concern of mine. But if you're wanting to short it, you're watching this. Where's your first target? Previous high, right? So if you run that across, isn't that what we saw in the other one? The previous high becomes the target, right? This is the inverse to the S&P 500. Well, if we go back to the S&P 500, it's the opposite of that chart, right? Down in here. And it stopped there before, right? So we'll see. I become your favorite YouTuber. I appreciate that, man. All my Netflix thieves. I'm going to guilt everybody this week. I'm going to be like, man, dirty, dirty thieves. Just thievery. Just stealing. Just robbing people. Don't even feel guilty. Be like stealing from the we're just gonna steal from the electric company. Just take it. Now, if you don't have a moral problem with that, that's then good. But all you guys out there talking about morality, maybe make sure you're not stealing from Netflix first. That's all I'm saying. Don't judge me when you're stealing from Netflix. Don't judge me. I pay for Netflix. So now half my audience can't even judge me anymore. I got the Netflix card. Get out of jail free card. They should publish a list. Let's see. Say, Gerald, don't talk about that, man. That doesn't make me feel good, man. Man, I'm a good guy, man. Just because I steal from Netflix doesn't make me a bad guy. It makes me a good guy. Remember in 2017, Netflix tweeted, love is sharing your password. They tweeted that shit in 2017. Now they don't like it. So As we look at the money flow, guys, I'm just teasing you on that, man. I don't care if you steal from Netflix. We're still friends, man. Um, I think there's hackers getting passwords too, by the way, because somebody's always in my shit, and I've changed my password. But someone told me you got to hit them with a log out of all devices and then log back in, or they can stay kind of logged in on your old password. I didn't know that was true, because periodically the damn thing makes me log in. Anyway, back to the money flow. One thing we got to believe to make all this work, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, but it's repetition's the mother of skill. We need to hear this. You might need to hear this. You might be going through some tough times in life right now. And then when you are going through tough times, or arguing with your wife, or things aren't so great at work, or blah, 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 whatever, right? All that shit. You're going to look at the market, and you might take out those feelings and filters on the market, meaning you're not feeling good, you start to look for the bad. If we step back and we look, this is the last, what is that? All the way back 2009. So this is 12 years, man. And we have moments of sell-offs, and then life goes higher. And that's been happening since your grandfathers, 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 grandfathers. And what the money flow will do for you is at least give you a way to interact with this market, especially if you have that belief. And if you want to keep it super simple, one of the things in my free ebook, You Don't Have to Die Broke, I think people miss it, chapter 10, Dog Power, is one of the most powerful, simplest methods for getting into the stock market, for utilizing this concept here. I actually have a video on it, I think in the newsletter. I don't know if you've seen it. Let me show you. Let's see. This here. I have a whole page dedicated to this part. Page 17. Now look at these stocks. This shit has been here since a while. I haven't even updated. I just realized that. I don't even have the 2022 on there. Damn. And if we go look at these from last year, it's Chevron, right? Verizon. And I'm doing a video on this, literally begging people, please buy these stocks. Please. This is so easy. And then just use this strategy over them. Well, I already got rid of it. I need to go watch this myself. And trimming and then adding. And so, let's just look. I thought for sure I updated. You can see I'm so in tune with the dogs. You just don't need to change it. Like, it's fucking monkey simple. Like, it's such an easy strategy. All we can do is fuck it up. If you go, let's look at Dow. This one of them this week. It's just, this is going to come out of, though. Look at the price on this. What does it say? $69. What was it at the time of this? $55. So that was a nice little run. Chevron, what was the price? $84. Ooh, let's see this one. Oh, baby. 160. That's a double. That's a double. That's a double. And we don't even need to go look at, was Exxon on here? Nope. Look at Amgen, 229. What is Amgen at today? This one I started buying Amgen when it hit the dogs list. 250. So not a huge gain. But look, since we've owned it, that was it. What was it? That was, again, this picture's from a while back. At the time, it was 229. Look how many times it came down. There's stage 1, 197. There's a stage 1, 197. These are 20% discounts from there, 30%, right? Runs up. And look, it's extreme, man. It's extreme, but it's still below value. And you're like, what do I do? I wouldn't do nothing. I don't want to sell it. I don't need to sell it. You could. I don't want to. You could have sold some, picked it back up on the next stage 1, a couple months later, but I probably wouldn't if it's still undervalued. Why? I want to play the one where it's overvalued. So let's go look. Now it's 255. Now, you may not even sell that one. Let's go see. You may not even trim that one. These dogs are so easy to stay with because they're going to outlive you. Fair value. Oh, fair value, man. Come on, man. I broke my camera stand the other day. Fair value. Look at that shit. Fair value. RSI is extreme. Money flow is given a sell signal, and the stock is fair value. As it looks like a good place to trim, which is what I'm saying in this video from a couple years ago, or at least the beginning of last year. We're trimming it to do what? To roll it, to add it to what? One of these others that we have. There's 10 of them, man. One of these is down. I bet one of these is down. Let's go look at, where was Walgreens? That one's... Man, has Walgreens played the game? Yeah, hell yeah. So, let's see. We only want to buy the ones, huh? So these are our zones. You're just like, what do you mean? We're buying these, right? And then when it runs up, I mean, maybe you're trimming here. Depends on the value of the stock. So let's go look. What is the value of Walgreens? WBA. I might actually have trimmed it. I don't know. Let's see. Too far back to remember. $49. Not a big upside. Not a big upside. I'm be honest, this one doesn't excite me. But sometimes the dogs, they don't. You start using your logic, you won't fucking buy them. That's the problem. Most people wouldn't have bought Exxon when it was shitty, and everybody's like, oh, they're going to cut the dividend. So Walgreens is in that camp too. It's like, doesn't make me excited, which means it's probably the one I should buy the most of. The fuck do I know? The strategy's only worked for 100 years. Maybe I won't outthink it. So the money flow says the highest price would be 53. That's below the 49. Is that what they said? $49? Goddamn, too. Look, dude. Look how many times it's stopped at $49. So we want our shares down in here, right? So all of our buys have been below that price. That's good. And we're getting a dividend. Yeah, not exciting. Not exciting for sure. Huh. That's 10 stocks, right? 10 stocks. 10 stocks. Look at the yield you're getting. This is my most overlooked strategy, man. Like, people sleep on this. You know, I mean, they'll sleep on these stocks. They'll buy the fuck out of SoFi and DraftKings all the way down and sleep on these, man. And the problem is this strategy's been around forever, man. So for buy and hold money, I would definitely, this is what I would do. I would park it. I mean, you got to start here. I mean, you got to start here for buy and hold money. You know, I might add some Bitcoin to the buy and hold. I might add some ARK. I mean, so you would have these. And then a lot of times what I would do in the, let's say Chevron comes out, because Chevron is going to come out. Exxon was in it, but they took it out. When Chevron comes off and the new stock comes on, sometimes I own the new stock. Like it was on the list 3 years ago. I don't get rid of them. I try to buy the new position with some of the winners. So I trim these and then I buy the new position, thereby keeping all of the stocks. And so I tend to be the 3 or 4 that rotate into the dogs. I tend to start picking them up, and a lot of times I already own them, and they're my focus. So what this is just showing me is this is a focus list of dividend stocks to keep an eye on stage ones. I already own all of these but IBM. You know, should I buy IBM? Let's look and see, where's it at? So if I want to pick it up as a dog stock, I don't know. And if you follow the way I look at the money flow, everything I just taught, real quick, these are our buy zones, right? How are we doing so far? I think we're doing pretty good. There's another one. So we bought that one, bought that one, bought that one, bought that one. Now, it stopped here twice. We talked about that, right? Look, previous high, where did it stop? Literally the exact spot, right? So what do they think this is worth? Why do I think it's that price? 144. What is that price? 141. It's almost like I've done this before. So I don't want to buy any of this at 141. That's fair value. I don't want to pay fair value. I want to get stocks on sale. I'm greedy. Like you guys that steal from Netflix and watch free Netflix, which seems to be most of America. When you go to church, I hope you bring that up when you're praying. Here, boom, boom. Here's a stage one, right? We want to buy on the low end. Definitely not a buy. So if I owned it, would I sell it? You could. If you're aggressively trading around the dogs, if you are aggressively doing that, yeah, I would sell some. I got to change out this video. I don't think the newsletter's updated, man. What's going on, man? Let me see. I got to work on the newsletter today. I think I updated it and forgot to do the upload. I updated on my end, then I got to upload it. Man, appreciate you guys listening today. Dig it. If you're new to the money flow, get the book and dig into those Dogs of the Dow right out of the free ebook. That free ebook has a lot of juicy stuff in it. Go back to it sometimes. There'll be some shit you'll disagree with me, but in general, it's going to steer you in the right direction. I show you pictures of houses I bought. I show you the stocks I own, and you can see the dates in there. I wrote that book 7 years ago, and I still own the McDonald's, and I still own the AT&T, and I still buy stage ones, and I still drip the dividends. It's been 7 years, and I just keep fucking pounding it the best I can, and I keep buying properties if I can. So my goal is make us money, not live on all of it, take what I don't need, the margin, and put that to work, either in dividend stocks or into growth stocks. Now we've added other things like Bitcoin in the last few years as a new asset class, and then for me, real estate. And there's going to be seasons and times, but this stuff is the same. If you're doing real estate, you don't want to buy fucking a fair valued house that's fair value. That's why I get mad at people renting their old house. Because you're renting a fair value. You're going, well, my dad gave me this dividend stock, so I'm going to keep it. And that's what you're doing there, man. It's probably not a deal. It's probably not the best use of your equity. You could probably sell it and go get 3 more houses that would pay you. That'll all 3 appreciate. That'll be cheaper to maintain. That you now have options. You could you could lean on one house, but not the other 2. You could pay off one, which would, you have options now. But if you have that much equity tied up into one property, you've limited your options. That's not how investors do it. Value investors in the stock market do not come in and buy overpriced stocks. They look for underpriced stocks. Make sense? So you should be doing that in real estate. You should, with your stocks. When do you want to trim? Not in fear. You want to trim. I'm not going to sell my houses if we have a housing crisis, by the way, just so you know. Anybody thinks, oh, I will sell them. I'm not. I'm going to buy more. Just so everybody's clear, if there's ever a recession or a housing crisis, let me let you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to make as much money as I can, however I can. You say, what do you mean? I don't know. I might pick you up as your Uber driver. I might. Right? I can podcast in the Uber. I might borrow against property. I might sell some. I don't know. I'm going to do what I got to do, man. So my goal is to prosper in the next recession. My goal is to prosper tomorrow, and then Tuesday, and then Wednesday. And by this time next Friday, I hope to be richer than last Friday. And I hope you are too, both in mind, body, mind and physically, everything, Unfortunately, time starts to work against us in our physical body, but not in your mind, man. Not in your mind. You have everything you need to make this work. Don't let the time that it takes. The young man I was reading about, that I answered his, if you send me emails, text, shit, sometimes I read them as content, and I don't give your name, of course. And so, and if I'm yelling at you, I'm not. I'm yelling at other people. And he was saying it felt unrealistic. Yeah, no shit. Of course it's unrealistic. That's why it's a goal. Seniors, it's unrealistic. So it's unrealistic to see that you're going to prosper when everybody else is in a recession, but it's just as easy to say I'm going to prosper when everybody else is in a recession. You can say it. Just say it. Keep saying it. You might believe it. You might act on it. Like, brainwash your damn self. That's what the book, you're fucking great. Brainwash yourself. Everyone else is stupid. Brainwash yourself, man. You should brainwash yourself, man. I'm completely brainwashed. So people say, man, sometimes you're unreasonable. I know. On purpose. Unreasonable. Not veering. Not changing. Refuse. Wall. Can't cross it. Like, you need to be at times have unrealistic goals and expect unrealistic participation from people around you. It's the only way you're going to get the goal. You don't build Uber politely. You fucking push. And you push on people. And guess what? People along the way may or not get on board. So if you're trying to do some shit and you think everybody's going to get on board with you, oh, I'm going to be a great trader. Probably not. Because the first fucking convenience in your life, you're like, oh, well, I can't watch the... Like, no, you got to push on that. You got to demand greatness. Repetition takes greatness. You're like, what do you mean? Meaning, to get up every day and sit at that fucking piano and pay every day is the hardest thing on planet Earth. To get up and walk every day. To get up every day and go to the gym. Or show up at your job and be on ready and not steal from them like you do from Netflix. But work hard every day is super hard. It's hard. And that's why few people do it, man. The easy way is to ignore it. The easiest way is not to do it. The easiest way is to sit fucking down and just go, can't do this. Unrealistic. Right? And all these things, we can just say it. Something I used to tell, I do my family all the time. I said, good thing you're here. The sun is up. It's up for them. Fuck, I don't know. When they die, it may go down. Like, you don't know. We don't know. Maybe it is up for them. Right? And that's why you feel bad when something goes wrong, because it's not up right now, right? Changed. It's not shining on them, right? And so these ideas, these concepts, like anything that anybody can do, man. I'm a dipshit. Like, seriously, anything I've done, anybody can do. Working, grinding, working on your technique, sales. Dude, I'm horrible influencer. I post too much, say too much shit, talk. Terrible. Like, there's a lot of better things that I could do, right? But I do it every day. Every day. Anything worth doing, either do it every day or don't fucking do it. That's literally my philosophy. On almost everything. Literally do it every day or stop wasting your time. Right? I don't need to filter it. I need to devote time to it. So as you go through, if you were to take just those stocks that we just looked at, this is how easy it is, man. This is where I lose people, though, man. I lose you. Other things grab your attention. Other holes, other rabbit holes, other ways of thinking grab your attention, and you don't master it. So these should be like, man, these charts, you can just fucking see them. And if you're following Verizon, it's very similar to the AT&T chart, which may connect you into T-Mobile, right? And 3M, you might start to see shit around your house from 3M. And then as you're reading on it, you're reading about their competitors. You happen to notice one of the competitors is down real far. All of a sudden, you're in the fucking money flow, right? And no, you're not thinking about your brother or some other dumb shit. Like, you're thinking, how do I make money? How do I take this money and turn it into more money? And as you start to think on this is why it's hard. This is why most people should not manage their own money. They shouldn't. They should put it into an index fund and go to work. That's what most people should do. I'm not talking to them. Have no interest in talking to that. That's really simple. Just go do it. You don't need help. Right? Cisco, Merck, Amgen. What do we know about Merck? Merck, you learn about Pfizer, right? And as you go through, you think, does it ever do this? Does it ever go down? Then start to go sideways and give you a chance to buy it? Does it do that? Yes. And now you get to think about it. And as you watch these 10, it limits your view, man, right? But it's biteable. And you get to apply this principle, portfolio management, stocks in different sectors, looking at the news. You get plenty of time to trim or to add. Anybody can play this chess game. They just won't. They just won't, man. They'll go down other rabbit holes. If I could keep someone's attention exclusively for 90 days, I'm fucking shocked. I'll show them the money flow. And as I'm showing you the money flow, they go, what do you think about blah, blah, blah? It's like they can't learn it, man. This is me too. Like most things, learning one thing and being good at it, completely fucking understanding it, is very difficult for most people. Be aware of this in yourself. It's what makes people mediocre. You know a lot about a bunch of things, but you haven't mastered one, or maybe you have. If you have, you know what I'm saying then, right? You can't master the piano and the trombone and the clarinet and there's freaks that can. But you, me and you, if we picked an instrument, we play it every day. If you pick a different instrument every fucking day, at the end of the week, we're not anywhere further along. We've played 7 instruments. What if we'd have played the one 7 times? Now we're on to something. This is this, man. That's what this is.